Until the day I stopped taking her vitamins and started taking them to a lab instead. The vitamins arrived in December. "Mom, you've been so shaky lately," Jennifer said, setting the bottle on my kitchen counter. "These helped my grandmother take 2 every morning." I looked at the white capsules through the clear bottle, standard supplements. Jennifer's smile was warm, concerned, perfect. "Thank you, sweetheart," I said. "That's very thoughtful," she squeezed my hand. "That's what family does, right?" 2 months later, I could barely hold a coffee cup without my hands trembling. 3 months later, I forgot an appointment I'd kept for 20 years. 4 months later, I left the stove on and nearly burned down the house. And through it all, Jennifer was there, helpful, attentive, always by my side. If you've ever had someone smile while they hurt you, this story is for you. Subscribe now, because what I discovered in that lab report changed everything. I'm Margaret Chen, 73 years old, and until 6 months ago, I thought my daughter-in-law was saving my life. I was wrong. My husband, David, died of a heart attack in March 2024. We'd been married for 49 years. He was a commercial real estate developer. I was a mathematics professor at Portland State University. We lived simply, saved carefully, and built a life worth $28 million. David left it all to me, every penny, every property, every account. Our son Marcus was mentioned in the will, but conditionally. He'd receive his inheritance only after I passed away, and only if he completed a rehabilitation program for gambling addiction. David had bilayed Marcus out 3 times, lost college funds, borrowed against properties, maxed out credit cards on sports betting and poker games. "I love our son," David had told me 2 weeks before he died, "but I don't trust him with money, not yet." Maybe not ever. 6 months after David's funeral, Marcus showed up with a woman I'd never met. "Mom, this is Jennifer Park," he said, voice bright with hope. "We got married last month." Last month, no invitation. No announcement, just a done deal. Jennifer extended her hand. She was 38, beautiful, with a smile that belonged in toothpaste commercials. "Mrs. Chen, Marcus has told me so much about David. I wish I could have known him." Her grip was firm, her eyes were kind, her voice carried perfect sympathy. I should have trusted my instincts, but I was lonely, grieving, and Marcus looked happier than I'd seen him in years, so I smiled back. "Call me Margaret. Welcome to the family. Drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from, because what happened next could happen in any city to any grandmother anywhere. It started so gradually I almost didn't notice." September. I began sleeping 12 hours and waking up exhausted. My coffee tasted metallic. My joints ached. October, I missed a step going downstairs, caught the railing, but my hip bruised purple for 2 weeks. Jennifer brought ice packs. "Margaret, these stairs are dangerous. Maybe we should talk about installing a railing on both sides." November, I forgot a faculty meeting at the university, the first time in 43 years. My department chair called, concerned. "Jennifer suggested a doctor. It's probably just stress. Grief affects memory. I'll drive you." December, I left the stove on, burned soup until the smoke alarm screamed. I stood staring at the blackened pot, unable to remember putting it there. Jennifer opened windows, made tea. "This is serious, Margaret. You could have started a fire. Maybe we need to discuss other arrangements. Somewhere with more support." Marcus nodded when she told him. I saw it from the hallway, gratitude in his eyes, relief, hope that this problem would solve itself. By January, my hands shook so badly I couldn't write. I spilled coffee at breakfast, dropped my phone twice, my vision blurred. That's when Jennifer brought the vitamins. "My grandmother swore by these," she said, placing the bottle in my hand. "Natural supplement blend, no side effects. Take 2 every morning with food." I took them. She was family, or so I thought. Type vitamins if you already know where this is going. But here's the thing about being a mathematics professor for 43 years, you notice patterns. Even through exhaustion, some part of my brain stayed alert, calculating, observing. I noticed that Jennifer always prepared my vitamins, always touched my food first, always present when symptoms worsened. I noticed how she spoke to Marcus in quiet tones, suggestions about assisted living, comments about my declining health, words that sounded like concern but felt like inventory. I noticed how she looked at the house. Not like family, like an appraiser. One night in late January, after everyone had left, I went to the kitchen. The house was dark except for the light Jennifer always left on so you can see if you need water at night. I opened her vitamin bottle. Shook one into my palm. It looked normal, but normal things don't make your hands shake. Don't erase 43 years of perfect memory. Don't make you fall down stairs you've climbed 10,000 times. I found a small Ziploc bag in David's office, dropped 3 pills inside, hid them in his desk drawer. Then I stood in that dark kitchen and made a decision. I needed answers, real answers. From someone who wouldn't tell Jennifer or Marcus. I called my oldest friend, Dr. Patricia Kim. We'd been roommates in graduate school 50 years ago. She was now head of toxicology at Oregon Health Sciences University. "Patricia," I said when she answered, "I need you to test something for me and I need you to keep it quiet." We met at a small cafe in the Pearl District at 6 a.m. before the city woke up. Patricia was already there, 2 cups of coffee on the table. She was 75, silver hair cut short, eyes still sharp as scalpels. I slid the Ziploc bag across the table. "What am I looking at?" she asked. "Vitamins my daughter-in-law has been giving me. I've been taking them for 6 weeks. I need to know what's in them." Patricia picked up the bag, held it to the light. "And you think something's wrong because I can't remember things. Because I'm falling, because my hands shake so badly I can barely write, because I feel like I'm dying, Patricia, and I need to know if someone's helping me along." She looked at me for a long moment. "I'll run a full panel. Toxicology, chemical composition, everything." "How long?" "Give me 48 hours. I also gave her a vial of my blood. "Test this too, see if anything unusual shows up." She nodded. "Margaret, if this is what you think it is, then I need to know before it's too late." 2 days later, she called, "Come to my office." Now, Patricia's office was in the research tower, 19th floor, overlooking the city. When I arrived, she had documents spread across her desk. Lab reports, chemical analyses, toxicology results. She handed me the first page without a word. "Oregon Health Sciences University Toxicology Report Patient. Margaret Chen. Date, February 3, 2025. Arsenic concentration, very high." I stared at the numbers. My hands started shaking, not from poison this time, from rage. "You're being poisoned," Patricia said quietly, "deliberately, systematically." She handed me the second report analysis of the vitamin capsules. Each pill contains approximately 3 milligrams of arsenic trioxide. At 2 pills per day, you've been ingesting 6 milligrams daily for 6 weeks. My throat went dry. "How long until?" "6 more months of this dosage. Complete liver failure, another year, you'd be gone." She pulled up a chart on her computer. "The symptoms match perfectly. Chronic arsenic poisoning presents as fatigue, confusion, tremors, gastrointestinal distress, memory loss, everything you've described." "We need to call the police," I said. Patricia shook her head. "If we call them now, she gets arrested for attempted poisoning. Maybe 5 to 10 years with a good lawyer. But Margaret, there's more going on here, isn't there? Your husband's estate. Your son's inheritance?" I nodded slowly. "Then we don't just want her arrested for poisoning, we want to catch her in the full conspiracy, the forged documents, the financial manipulation. Whatever else she's planning." Patricia leaned forward. "If we move now, she lawyers up and we get a fraction of the justice you deserve. But if we wait, if we let her think she's winning, we can destroy her completely." I looked down at the arsenic report. The numbers blurred. "What do I do?" "Stop taking her pills. I'll give you actual vitamins, same size, same color, replace them, but keep acting sick. Fall down, forget things, shake when you hold your coffee cup. Make her think the poison is working. For how long?" "As long as it takes to build an airtight case. I'll help you document everything. We'll find out who she's working with, what she's planning, and when we have enough evidence, we bury her." I took a deep breath. "All right, we wait." Subscribe if you can feel that cold rage, because what she did next was even worse. For the next 8 weeks, I became an actress. I practiced tremors in the bathroom mirror every morning. Used makeup to create dark circles under my eyes, dragged my feet when I walked. Let my sentences trail off mid-thought. I fell carefully 3 more times, once in the hallway, once at the grocery store, once getting out of Jennifer's car. Each time she was there, concerned, helpful, perfect. "Margaret, I'm worried about you," she'd say, helping me up. "Maybe it's time to seriously consider assisted living." Marcus would nod. "Mom, Jennifer's right. You can't keep living alone like this." I'm fine, I'd say, voice weak and trembling. I just need to be more careful. All the while Patricia was investigating, she pulled Jennifer's background, birth records, marriage records. Financial history, what she found made my blood run cold. Jennifer Park wasn't her real name. Her real name was Jennifer Lawson. She'd been married twice before, once in Seattle, once in San Diego. Both husbands had died within 18 months of the wedding. Both deaths were ruled natural causes, heart attack and stroke. Both times Jennifer inherited everything. Both times she'd been helping with their medication. Margaret, Patricia said when she showed me the records, your daughter-in-law is a serial killer. She's done this twice before. Marcus is attempt number 3. I closed my eyes. We have to warn him. Will he believe you? Or will Jennifer convince him you're confused, that the dementia is making you paranoid? I knew the answer. Marcus had chosen Jennifer. He wanted to believe her. Then what do? Patricia pulled out another folder. We prove it. All of it, and we make sure she never hurts anyone again. Over the next month, Patricia worked with a private investigator named Robert Hayes, former FBI, now running his own firm in Portland. Robert found things Patricia couldn't. Bank records showing Jennifer had withdrawn $75,000 from her joint account with Marcus in February, 1 month after the vitamins started. Security footage from a chemical supply company in Seattle showing Jennifer purchasing arsenic trioxide in July 2024, 2 months before she married Marcus. Email records recovered from Jennifer's laptop showing correspondence with a lawyer named Thomas Riley discussing estate planning strategies and expediting probate processes, and recordings. Robert had followed Jennifer for 3 weeks. He'd placed listening devices in her car, in the cafes where she met Thomas Riley, in the park where she made phone calls she thought were private. One afternoon in March, Robert came to Patricia's office. I was there too. He played the first recording. Date, March 12, 2025. Location, coffee shop, Northwest Portland. Jennifer's voice clear and cold. How much longer until the old woman is incapacitated enough for the court to appoint a guardian? Thomas Riley's voice, calculating. Given the dosage you described, another 2 months, maybe 3, then we file for conservatorship. You become her legal guardian, which gives you control of all financial decisions. And Marcus? A pause, then Thomas, what about him? He's useful now, but once we have control of the estate, he becomes a liability. Jennifer, I agreed to help with the conservatorship paperwork. I didn't agree to what? Accidents happen, Thomas. People with gambling problems relapse, they drink, they drive, they crash. It wouldn't raise suspicions. Silence stretched on the recording, then Thomas, slowly. You're talking about eliminating your own husband. I'm talking about $28 million. Are you in or out? Another pause. I'm in, but we do this carefully. The recording ended. I sat in Patricia's office, hands clenched in my lap, unable to breathe. She's planning to kill my son, I whispered. Robert nodded. Not just planning, she's already laid the groundwork. The poisoning establishes you as mentally incompetent. The conservatorship gives her legal control, and once she has the money, Marcus becomes disposable. We have to stop her. We will, Patricia said, but we need to do this right. If we arrest her now, she can claim the recording was taken illegally, that the evidence is circumstantial, that she was just talking hypothetically. Then what? Robert leaned forward. We need her to confess, on camera, with witnesses. In a situation where she can't claim coercion or entrapment. He pulled out a blueprint of my house. We set up cameras and microphones. You invite Jennifer and Marcus to dinner. You confront her with everything, the poison, the conservatorship plan, the previous husbands, and when she admits it, we have her. Will she admit it? Narcissists always do, Patricia said. When they think they've won, they can't resist gloating. I looked at the blueprint of my home, the house David and I had built together, the house Jennifer was trying to steal. When? I asked. This Friday, Robert said. Give me 2 days to install the equipment. Then we end this. Comment Friday if you can't wait to see what happens next. Thursday afternoon, while Jennifer and Marcus thought I was at a doctor's appointment, Robert Hayes turned my house into a surveillance operation. Cameras hidden in smoke detectors, microphones in light fixtures, recording equipment in the basement, feeding to a monitoring station Robert set up in my garage. Detective Linda Morrison from the Portland Police Department was there too. Patricia had contacted her the week before. Linda was 50s, sharp-eyed, 25 years on the force. "Mrs. Chen," she said as Robert finished the installation, "this is highly unusual. Normally we'd arrest suspects based on the evidence you already have. But your daughter-in-law is smart, very smart. She's gotten away with this twice before. I don't want her getting away with it again." Linda pulled out an arrest warrant. "The moment she confesses on camera, the moment she admits to poisoning you or planning harm against Marcus, my team moves in. We'll be in unmarked vehicles outside. 3 units, 12 officers. She won't get 50 feet. And Marcus," Linda's expression softened, "if the evidence shows he didn't know about the poisoning or the plan to harm him, we won't charge him, but Mrs. Chen, he's going to be devastated." I nodded. "I know. That evening I texted Marcus, dinner tomorrow night, you and Jennifer, 7 p.m. I need to discuss something important about your father's estate. Please don't make excuses. This is the last time I'll ask." 3 dots appeared. Marcus was typing, "Mom, what's this about? You've been distant for months." I typed carefully, "I've been thinking about the future, about what your father wanted, about what I want. Come to dinner, we'll talk as a family." His reply came a minute later, "Okay, we'll be there." I set down my phone and looked around the house. Cameras watching from the corners, microphones listening in the ceiling. Tomorrow night, Jennifer would walk into a trap. And this time, there would be no escape. Friday, 7 p.m. The doorbell rang exactly on time. I opened the door to find Marcus on the porch, hands in his jacket pockets, looking uncomfortable. Behind him stood Jennifer in a navy dress, perfect makeup, that practiced smile. "Come in," I said. The dining room table was set for 3. Simple meal, roasted salmon, rice pilaf, steamed vegetables. The kind of dinner I'd made 1,000 times when Marcus was growing up. We ate in near silence for the first 30 minutes. Marcus attempted small talk. "Mom, the salmon is great. Thanks for inviting us." "Of course, sweetheart. This is still your home." Jennifer's eyes were sharp, watchful. "Margaret, you seem much stronger tonight. These past months when I visited, you seemed so frail, but tonight you're different." I met her gaze across the table. "Perhaps because I stopped taking those vitamins you gave me." The room went cold. Marcus looked between us. "Mom, what are you talking about?" I stood, walked to the sideboard, and picked up the vitamin bottle Jennifer had given me in December. I placed it in the center of the table with a soft click. "Do you remember these, Jennifer?" Her smile didn't waver. "Of course, standard supplements. If you had a bad reaction, I'm sorry, but bad reaction." I almost laughed. "Is that what we're calling arsenic poisoning?" Marcus pushed back from the table. "What?" I pulled out a manila envelope and set it down. "This is my blood toxicology report from Oregon Health Sciences University. Arsenic concentration, 0.9 milligrams per liter. Normal range is less than 0.03. Jennifer's mask slipped, just for a second, a flicker of something cold and calculating. "And this," I continued, pulling out a second document, "is the lab analysis of your vitamins. Each capsule contains 3 milligrams of arsenic trioxide." Marcus stood up so fast his chair fell backward. "Jennifer, tell me this isn't real." She looked at him, then at me. Her voice was ice. "Margaret has been confused for months. This is just more paranoia." "Confused?" I opened the envelope fully. "Let me show you something else." I pulled out photographs, surveillance images of Jennifer meeting with Thomas Riley in cafes, in parks, in parking lots. "This man is Thomas Riley. He's a probate attorney. You've been meeting with him every week since January." Jennifer's jaw tightened. "And this," I said, pulling out a marriage certificate, "is your first marriage. Seattle, 2019. Your husband Richard Lawson died of a heart attack in 2021. You inherited $4 million. I pulled out another certificate. Your second marriage, San Diego, 2022. Your husband James Park died of a stroke in 2023. You inherited $6 million. Marcus stared at the documents, face draining of color. "Both men were healthy, both died within 18 months of marrying you. Both had arsenic in their systems, though it was never investigated because you were so grief-stricken, so helpful with their medical care." Jennifer stood. "I don't have to listen to this." "Sit down," I said, my voice was steel. Something in my tone made her hesitate. She sat. I pulled out my phone and placed it on the table. This is a recording from March 12th, you and Thomas Riley at a coffee shop on Northwest 23rd. I pressed play. Jennifer's voice filled the room. How much longer until the old woman is incapacitated enough for the court to appoint a guardian? Marcus's breath caught. Thomas Riley, given the dosage you described, another 2 months. Maybe 3, Jennifer, and Marcus, he's useful now, but once we have control of the estate, he becomes a liability. I stopped the recording. The silence was absolute. Marcus looked at Jennifer, tears streaming down his face. You were going to kill me, Trevor. My name is Marcus. Jennifer's mask finally shattered. Her voice went cold. You were always weak, just like your father said, couldn't handle money, couldn't handle pressure. You were useful to get access to the estate, that's all. She looked at me. And you should have been dead 2 months ago. What happened? Did you get suspicious? Stop taking the pills? I stopped taking them in February. I've been pretending to be sick for 2 months, documenting everything, building a case. Jennifer's eyes widened. The tremors, the falls, the confusion, all of it was an act. While you thought I was dying, I was gathering evidence. I gestured toward the corners of the room. There are cameras in this house, microphones in every room. Everything you just said was recorded. Detective Linda Morrison and 12 officers are outside right now, waiting for my signal. Jennifer stood, but the front door opened before she could move. Detective Morrison stepped inside, badge visible, 3 officers behind her. Jennifer Lawson, Linda said, you're under arrest for attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and fraud. An officer moved forward with handcuffs. Jennifer didn't resist. She just stood there, staring at me with pure hatred. You'll never prove it, she hissed. I already did. They led her away. Marcus collapsed into his chair, head in his hands, sobbing, type justice if you felt that moment in your soul. The trial took place 6 months later. Jennifer Lawson was charged with 2 counts of murder in Washington and California, attempted murder in Oregon, fraud, conspiracy, and forgery. The prosecution presented everything. The toxicology reports, the surveillance recordings, the marriages to 2 dead husbands, the chemical supply receipts, the meetings with Thomas Riley. Thomas Riley took a plea deal. 5 years for conspiracy in exchange for testifying against Jennifer. The jury deliberated for 3 hours, guilty on all counts. Judge Sarah Tanaka sentenced her to life in prison without possibility of parole. Jennifer showed no emotion, just stared straight ahead as they led her away. Marcus went to treatment. Real treatment this time. 6 months in a residential facility in Arizona, working on his gambling addiction and the trauma of nearly being murdered by his own wife. I visited him once a month. Mom, he said during one visit, I'm so sorry for everything, for the gambling, for bringing her into your life, for not seeing. Marcus, stop. You were a victim too. I chose to ignore Dad's warnings. I chose to believe her instead of you. I took his hand. You're choosing differently now, that's what matters. With the $28 million David left me, I created the David Chen Foundation. Its mission: support victims of financial elder abuse, provide legal aid to families fighting conservatorship fraud, and fund toxicology research for chronic poisoning cases. In the first year, we helped 143 families. Patricia Kim serves on the board. Robert Hayes does investigations pro bono. Detective Morrison consults on cases. And Marcus, when he completed his program, came to work for the foundation. Not for money, he's on a modest salary, but for purpose. He helps other families recognize the warning signs he missed. He tells his story to anyone who will listen, and slowly he's rebuilding the trust his father hoped he'd earn. Last week I received a letter from Jennifer from prison. I almost threw it away, but curiosity won. Inside was a single-page handwritten, Margaret, you think you won, but look at what it cost you. Your son nearly destroyed, your husband's legacy tainted, your final years spent in courtrooms and trauma. I may be in prison, but you're in your own cage, a cage made of suspicion and fear. Was it worth it? I read it once, then I burned it, because yes, Jennifer, it was worth it. I'm 74 years old, I'm alive. My son is getting better. And 143 families have been saved because I chose to fight. That's not a cage, that's a legacy. If this story moved you, subscribe and share it. Because there are grandmothers out there right now being helped by people who smile while they poison them. Comment below, would you have confronted her or gone straight to the police? Until next time, trust your instincts, test everything, and remember, kindness without boundaries is how predators win. You deserve safety, you deserve justice. And you're never too old to fight back.